Council during 2023-24. He is a member of the board of Sundaram Finance Limited, Sundaram Finance Holdings Limited, India Motor Parts and Accessories Limited, Fricho Sundaram Santhanam and Family Private Limited, Axles India Limited, and Sundaram Composite Structures Private Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Srivatsram.
On stage in terms of education in different fields, whichever field you looked at, we had a large chunk of colleges which came in the top 20, let alone the number one in quite a few categories. When we look at the educated population, Tamil Nadu, as a matter of fact, look at the number of people who graduate from high school, the percentage who go to college is very similar to the United States. The amount of skill that we are generating. And we are also fortunate that in the rest of the world, skill is becoming scarcer and scarcer. So if we look at different parts of the Western world, which we added to this, the technology advancements has been significant. So as computing abilities and data crunching abilities have grown significantly, digital data analysis. So the importance of data and of processing has become huge in the current world. If you look at a conventional automobile, not even, and this is actually, if you look at lines of code, I think while connected cars are there, you have battery management systems, engine management systems, all these other conventional automobile related things. Areas have been evolved, and we do acknowledge the fact that there is still a gap between the students who come out of colleges and what organizations want as a starting block. Organizations are also setting up training programs, internship programs, etc. to match that. But I think the fundamental to focus on employment and livelihood. The first project is Pudev Payanam Voluntary Noki, which was launched with the intent to support about 1,000 micro entrepreneurs. Second is we want to look at making job seekers into job providers. So the focus of this Center of Excellence is actually to do that. I would like to thank the industry and academia. The partnership is important. We are proud as an industry to be partnering in the 57th ICT Bridge, and will continue working towards making Tamil Nadu global talent hub, fostering tech entrepreneurship. Let's collectively engage in collaborative efforts between industry, academia and government to foster innovation and progress, and together.
Thank you, Mr. Srivatsram, for those inspiring words. We now invite our second guest of honor, Mr. Mike Muralidharan, the Chief Executive Officer of COE at Bahan Cybertech.
18. ಇಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ಅವ್ರನ್ನೂ ಅರವಿಲ್ಲ.
Very good morning to all of you. Hello, ICT Academy Bridge Conclave. Here, I'm happy to share the stage with dear friend
for Information Technology and Digital Services, Government of Tamil Nadu. Dr. Adithanar is the MLA for Madurai Central Constituencies in the 15th and 16th Legislative Assemblies of Tamil Nadu. He currently serves as the Minister for Information Technology and Digital Services, Government of Tamil Nadu. Dr. Rajan previously worked as an international investment banker for many years in several trading, market sales and management roles at Lehman Brothers, New York and Standard Chartered Bank, Singapore, where he now served as Senior Managing Director, Financial Markets, overseeing the sales of several fixed income products globally. Prior to banking, his career spanned academia, agriculture, consulting, manufacturing and research. He did his MBA in Financial Management from MIT Sloan School of Management, Cambridge. He was a lecturer at State University of New York, Buffalo, with expertise in simulation and stochastic models, biomechanics, and human information processing. In the State University of New York, he completed Please put your hands together to welcome Dr. Adithanar.
Kumar Jain, the Additional Chief Secretary for the Department of Information Technology and Digital Services, through R. Kannan, MD of Elcott, through Gandhi, Director of TVA, through Srikanth, the Acting CEO of ICT Academy, my good friend, also an educationalist, Chairman for the second time of Adithanar College, through Mike Muralidharan, my good friend for many generations, family friend. Srivatsa Ram was the chairman of the CII Tamil Nadu chapter. The many members of the ICT Academy team that pulled this together, as well as of the IT department. The eminent speakers who are here to enlighten all the delegates throughout the day. The 650 people who have progressively decided to register here. Thank you all for your attendance and for this opportunity to speak to you. I'm very happy to be in Coimbatore. As many have pointed out, it is the hub of economic activity, of education, of innovation. I have both personal and professional reasons to be here. I am frequently here. In fact, sometimes they used to joke, asking whether my constituency is Madurai or Coimbatore, because I come so often to Coimbatore. But I think I'm back again in a couple of weeks for a PSG Trust annual day. So, partly for personal reasons, partly because it's such an important part of our economy, both in my old role in finance and in my current role in technology. I come here a lot. This conference is very special to us. This is the 57th version being run this time in Coimbatore. But I want to give you a little bit of background. The theme of this conference actually echoes our Chief Minister's statement back in 2021 when we established the Economic Advisory Council for the state of Tamil Nadu. In the maiden address to that council, the Chief Minister said that his ambition was to make Tamil Nadu the global capital for human talent, not the Indian, not the Asian, but the global capital. I think if you read into that, what he was already implying is that our Tamil diaspora is significantly impactful in almost every sector all over the world already. And the sheer scale of our population, almost 8 crore people, plus the high enrollment ratios that we have, ought to make us the premier source of human capital. But if you look at where we are today, there are many positives we can talk about global gross enrollment ratio, about our economic platform, about our inclusion, about our national ranking. Srivatsa brought it up in many colleges, etc. Our infrastructure, connectivity. These are all positives. But the reality is that we are not creating enough employment for all of our graduates here in Tamil Nadu, nor are they all able to achieve their full potential in the global market. And the biggest gap, though there may be many contributors to that, the biggest gap is this skilling gap, is the gap between the skills that are being imparted in the educational institutions and those that are needed by the economy. Now, if we didn't have so many institutions and we didn't have 52% roughly gross enrollment, we would say it's just that we don't have infrastructure, we don't have people who are able to go to college or the means. But when you have everybody going and still we are not reaching full employment, then there are some structural issues. This is a problem that is not new to me. I had the great luxury, though on the one hand, with people like the TVS family or with many in Coimbatore, or even with the family of Mike Muralidharan, though I can celebrate many generations of friendship. In fact, I spent most of my career overseas in economies and markets which were much more efficient in terms of labor placement. And so, during my maiden speech in the Assembly in 2016, when I was an opposition member, at that point I suggested several steps to be taken to improve the ratio of placement, given that we already had high levels of education or enrollment. It's not often that one gets to work on a problem that one has actually understood and defined. So in that sense, I'm very grateful for the rare opportunity to be part of the solution as the Minister for IT, the department in which the ICT Academy runs. Now you may all know that the ICT Academy, Kumar Jain was the first CEO, started 2008, I think, was not the only one of its kind. It had partial government of India support. Many states were given the opportunity to start something similar. Ours has been spectacularly successful in the sense that I think of all the ICT academies that are government sponsored or supported, Tamil News is by far the best in the country, and we have offices in 9 other states outside Tamil Nadu. We have 1,500 colleges or so as members across the country, and I have attended these bridge conferences in Delhi, in Bangalore, in Hyderabad, and I think I'm going to Pune later this week. So, on the one hand, we're very happy as a department, as the home of the ICT Academy of Tamil Nadu, that we do this for the country. At the end, we're one country, we have to raise the average productivity of all workers for the country to benefit. At some other sense, I have been very clear that 60% of ICT Academy's efforts should be directed within Tamil Nadu as its primary mandate, and we should do more and more with institutions across all cities, towns, wherever we can, to bridge this gap between the skills that recruiters and the economy is looking for and the curriculum and the training, extracurricular training that is being provided in the educational institutions. We're running quite late and it's almost tea time, so I won't speak for very long, but I'll just wind up with a few thoughts. One, we are at an inflection point as far as the information technology and related services industry is concerned. Though some may argue that there's no such thing as true artificial intelligence, what we call G, general intelligence. The quality of the algorithms, and much more so the ability to store and process almost infinite amounts of data, and the access to computing capacity on demand, as opposed to having to invest hundreds of millions of dollars each because of the cloud model, possibly is setting us on a 20-year trajectory for a new AI or algorithm-driven, natural language-based era in technology. That is an inflection point. That is not where the trajectory has been so far. And as all inflection points, while it brings risk and disruption potential, it also creates opportunity. We in Tamil Nadu, in many ways, have been punching below our weight for various reasons, some structural, some financial, some more societal. But as the Chief Minister said during our Imagine conference earlier this year in Chennai, one of the reasons he asked me to come to his portfolio was to bring the kinds of changes that I had brought when I had been in finance for a couple of years. So I am happy to say that at least in the initial periods we are starting to see big difference. Last year in Chennai, the Class A office space rental went up from the usual 5 million square feet to 11 million square feet. We have seen many more indicators of new interests, new GCCs, new IT platforms, new ITES platforms. I have gone and inaugurated 2 or 3 AI-based entities, Chennai platforms, including Unifor, including Annalise. So I think we are at a very exciting time. In the case of ICT, we used to get 30 to 40 crores worth of new donations and engagement contracts a year. I would say this year we're on track for 100 crore. Probably we are going to greatly expand our reach, both through CSR funds for generic training, for specific training based on platforms that the companies themselves like MongoDB will pay for, and then for employers looking for trained employees. So I think we are able to greatly scale this up. And as people have suggested here today, we'll even look at additional models. In that sense, I would say, though governments have core responsibilities, the history of our country, in fact, the history of democracy suggests that most governments cannot do everything alone. We need significant partnership with the private. Some of it will be quasi-government entities, some of it will be dedicated public sector enterprises like ICT Academy, some of it will be interactions of public-private partnerships. But whatever the model is, we have to find a way for government and society to work together. Governments are a vital component, but are not comprehensive, cannot achieve everything that they need to do. In fact, in this very hall, a few years ago, I addressed a big Rotary conference and I made the same point, that there is a significant role for NGOs to do granular execution and ensure quality outcomes that sometimes it's hard for the government to do. So, with those thoughts, I'd like to conclude by wishing all of you a very productive and enlightening day. All of you in this room are a vital part of our Chief Minister's vision, not just of the scale or size of the economy, but of the increasing employability, employment, and personal progress of our youth and their families. So I thank you for your work, and I wish you a great future. Thank you very much.
Truly value your thoughtful perspectives. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to a significant moment in today's event, the exchange of Memorandum of Understanding. These MOU are key to bridging the gap between industry and academia. I welcome Mr. Saravanan to join me on the stage.
Corporate and CSR initiatives, and Mr. Raghav Srinivasan, the head of new initiatives, to join up for the MOU auspicious occasion. So I call upon Mr. Gandhi sir, from
the partnership is to take the Thank you very much, sir. So next we will be exchanging an MOU with the electronic systems design and manufacturing. So we are signing an MOU with Thanthi Technologies, and Thanthi Technologies is a continuous partner for ICT Academy in all the bridge conference. Now they will also be a technology partner and a knowledge partner of ICT Academy. Thank you very much. Next we will be exchanging an MOU with one of our corporate partners, MongoDB, along with Karnataka from MongoDB also to join up on the dais and exchange an MOU with Karnataka University. And this is a university who has adopted MongoDB to curriculum and will be training the students on database technology. So we have Mr. Reputed. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We will then move on to, we have the awards. Let me have the privilege of inviting Mr. Ashwin Raghunathan, the VP from Capgemini, and also Mr. Navin Narayanan, the Vice President Head of R&D from Let's give a big round of applause to Madam Dr. Dominic Paleswamy. I request Madam to come up to the dais, and I request the Honorable Minister and other dignitaries to give the Education Change Maker Award 2024. Chairman, Powai Educational Institution. To a thriving educational hub with 17 institutions, he has touched the lives of over 14,000 students and guided 1,000 plus staff members. A chartered accountant by profession. A big round of applause to CA MD Narayan, the chairman of